have a very interesting weekend. Yeah, because there's nothing as fun as watching 29 adults in a confined space fight amongst themselves to share the limited food resources in the house. These housemates, listen, it's gonna be complete chaos, except Big Brother decides to be nice, to bless them with food and maybe just extra supplies, pending when they received their main general supply. If not, it's gonna be chaos, proper chaos. Because you see, yeah, the moment Biggie told them to sit down, when they were playing that they are not stupid, let me not even say what I want to say, but when they were just playing that they are slow, annoying, scattered game in that the arena, see, the moment people told them to take a sit, I just knew right then and there that Biggie was not impressed. Because guys, they messed up the wager. It was just very, very painfully glaring. They messed it up. So many fights, which of course we were thoroughly entertained by. I mean, hey, come on, let's not take that away from them. So many fights, so many disagreements, too many ideas. As a matter of fact, just look at it as a case of too many chefs spoiling the broth. Because everybody had ideas. Everybody wanted to express themselves. Everybody wanted to assert themselves. Everybody wanted to assert their talent, their creativity, their individuality. A lot of people did not want to be led. A lot of people wanted to just live by their own free will. A lot of people were not obeying the head of house. A lot of people wanted to be head of house. A lot of people were talking over the head of house. A lot of people were not respecting the head of house authority. A lot of people were not following instructions. A lot of people were doing things at their own time. A lot of people prefer to work under pressure. And so when everybody else were putting all hands on deck to get everything done, a lot of people were just chilling and just laid back. Guys, it was just a collective low effort, a collective failure at the highest order. And so the fact that they lost their wager, guys, I was not surprised at all because it was inevitable. If they had won, I would have just felt like, okay, fine. Maybe people that decided to, just give them a win because, of course, there are many, like a whole multitude in that house. So Big Brother probably doesn't want them to go crazy and burn down his mansion. But, guys, it was inevitable. The wager presentation was terrible. It was a drag. It was bad. It was really bad. And, the part that was really, really, really worse was the way the housemates dressed. In fact, Big Brother addressed all of these things. He addressed all of these things. And guys, there's a lot more to it because there was a wager that happened, Big Brother's verdict, other things that Big Brother talked about. And then the aftermath of the wager, guys, there was a lot of blame passing. We're going to talk about all of that on this video. So please make sure you watch to the end. Don't skip out on any part, all right? Also, we're going to be meeting today by 3 p.m. WAT. I look forward to seeing all of you because there's a lot to unpack, all right? So come through, do not miss out, all right? And yes, you're all welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. According to Big Brother's analysis of the presentation, the housemates already failed right from the brief, right from their understanding and interpretation of the brief. They already failed. Now, it wasn't like English was a problem, no, but it was more of a thing of when someone who understands the brief is trying to explain, everybody keeps on interjecting, interrupting. They want to prove that they too, they have sense, that they too are educated, that they too are exposed. So at the end of the day, everybody wants their own idea to be taken. And when their idea is not taken, it seems like there is a deliberate effort to sabotage the wager because they want to prove that the idea that finally gets taken was not worth it at all, that theirs was actually better. And then the one whose idea ends up getting taken, they want to ensure that nobody else's idea infiltrates their own idea. And if it does, and if they do not win the wager, they will claim that it is because they watered down their idea with other people's idea. But as I was saying about Big Brother's verdict, he had asked the housemates if they understood the meaning of a ball, a masquerade ball. And you see, the most annoying moment in that arena was Gigi Jasmine standing up like a classroom prefect. You know those A students, those students that likes to come first in class. She just stood up. Yes, Big Brother, a ball is a yeah. A ball is a yeah. A ball is a ka. I hope I got that right. And then she now sat down like this. Like good student. Big Brother, of course, said, yes, you got it right. And she's like, oh, wow, my bad. Like she was feeling herself. It was as if she was looking for a cheerleading squad. Come on, go, GGA, go, GGA. Girl, sit down. Just sit down. And guys, it was so annoying because I'm looking at this girl and I'm telling myself, well, so you know how to define a ball, but you dressed like this? Like you dressed like this? She was literally wearing leggings. Like she was dressing so casual, like I'm just chilling in the lounge today. It was stated clearly in ink that these housemates were to dress according to, you know, the nature of a ball. It was explained. She was the one that read the brief. When the brief arrived, the head of house read it. She was the one that read the brief with American accent. Because I did not see any difference between what the head of house read and what she read. So she wanted to read with the American accent. It was like, oh, the head of house has read for people that have Nigerian accent. Let me read for people that have American accent. She now read the ball. You read the brief. You explained. She was the first person that gave an explanation of that brief. Now, let's give her the benefit of doubt that, okay, because of the multitude of ideas and opinions, she had to take a step back, but she understood the meaning of a ball. Why did she not dress accordingly? Because if there's one person in that arena that really dressed like she was going for a ball, in fact, more than one person, there was Doris, there was Thelma. Thelma also dressed like she was going for a ball. Now, I might not remember other people. Okay, I think Sultana also dressed like she was going for a ball. The rest, and maybe I missed others, but the rest dressed like they were going for a concert. And that was because the house interpreted the brief to be like, oh, they were to have a concert and blah, 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 blah. So, of course, they did not necessarily understand the brief entirely, because even those who knew that were chipping in those ideas, others were countering those ideas. So yeah, Biggie told them that their presentation lacked imagination and substance, because even the different activities that they executed, it just looked so, it looked shabby. Yeah, it looked shabby. It did not look like what a WAGER presentation should look like. It was just so ordinary. Like 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds could do what they were actually doing in the arena. It looked like a child's play. And then the part that really pissed off Big Brother was Faith and Sabrina. I don't know whatever the F they were doing on that stage, whether they were hosts or what, educationists or panelists. I don't know, because Sabrina is always bragging about being a TEDx speaker. And we're talking about mental health. And they were making so light of the conversation, or rather of the topic, that when they started, I thought we were going to have like a panelist session where they were going to sit down and have a proper conversation about it. But they just talked about it, you know, make it there's a passing way that the social media can bring toxicity. Hey, go Dede, my brother, my sister. They did all of that, and then they ushered in the next act for the presentation. And I'm like, oh my goodness, is that all? So Biggie was so unimpressed. It was so disgusted by, according to Biggie's language, how they reductively reductively in the sense that they completely reduced, watered down the seriousness of the conversation. That was exactly what Big Brother meant. They reductively talked about such a sensitive topic, making it look like it was a light situation. That was very insensitive of especially the people that decided to talk about it. And you know what's funny? After the wager, after they lost their wager inside the house, Sabrina was doing press conference, going to every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the house, trying to pass all the blame, like the entire blame, on the head of house. She was trying to completely shift the blame from her, because a lot of people were saying that, oh, you see, that they mentioned it, oh, that they should not have talked about mental health like that, oh, but Sabrina said she must talk about it like that. Da, 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 da. So she heard that people were coming for her. So she now started doing press conference, going to everybody, trying to convince everybody that the loss of the wager was the fault of the head of house, because the head of house listens to talk, to respond. He does not listen to understand, which is what she told Big Brother in the diary room, and she has been telling everybody in the house, more like trying to smear the reputation of Jason J. And she will always come from the angle of, I mean, I love him so much, but this is who he is. He listens to that. And I love the fact that there are other housemates that have a mind of their own, and they maintain their stance that, listen, you people saying that it's because of the head of house, what would you have done different? When everybody had larger than life personalities, everybody wanted to be a main character, and the head of house is deciding that, okay, fine, let me allow people to express themselves. What do you all expect? But anyways, back to Big Brother's verdict. Well, he did not even waste time. Told them that they have lost their wager because it wasn't really serious. Now, aside the housemates losing their wager, Big Brother also reprimanded them sternly. Like, he gave them a stern warning for all the violations that they have been committing in the house from Saturday, since the show launched. The microphone infringements, the disrespect of Big Brother's authority. When Big Brother calls them to the diary room, or maybe instructs them around the house, the way they drag their feet, the way they take their time. When Big Brother calls them, they don't respond. Big Brother warned them about all of those behaviors and told them those behaviors shall not be condoned anymore. And to put it to test, he called their names one after the other to run to the arena door. Like, he didn't tell them to particularly run, but he summoned them just to see how fast they will move. And you see, I found it funny that Isabella, being the first person that was called, was still catwalking. Now, I understand that maybe because she was wearing heels, you know, she was trying to maintain her balance, but I'm like, girl, you probably were going to be the first person to catch a punishment or a strike, because he just said what he said. It's either you don't understand English, or maybe you're just being stubborn, because she was still catwalking. The second person that Big Brother called literally ran straight to the door before her. So we'll just wait and see how she's going to perform next time she's called to the diary room. Now, aside Big Brother's verdict and his analysis of the housemates' performance, there was something else that happened, right? I don't know if you all recall that a part of the wager brief was that the housemates were going to write something unique about themselves. They're not going to show it to any of their fellow housemates, and they're not going to put a name on it, yeah? So it turned out that it was a game that Big Brother made the housemates play in the arena as part of their wager. So they will dip their hand in a container, pick out a paper each, and then they will read out what is written on it. The housemates that fits the description on that note. Okay, the housemates will first of all play a guessing game. They will vote on which housemate they believe is being talked about on that note, right? If they get it correctly, the housemates will stand up and reveal themselves, unmask themselves on the stage. Now, if it turns out that from all of their guesses, they did not get it right, the housemates that the note belongs to should not stand up. The person should remain seated. So the game was going on, and then there were like two notes that seemed like it was planted by Big Brother. Yeah, I mean, guys, probably instructed to be planted by a housemate, or probably Big Brother planted it by himself, because one of the notes read, I'm going to paraphrase now, one of the notes read that I'm living amongst you in plain sight. I am the one that has been messing up with your things, and there's nothing you can do about it. Catch me if you can. Something like that. It was more like a threat. And all the housemates were shocked, and they were pissed, because of course their things had been missing. People had been messing up with their things. I mentioned it on some of my videos. So they now all started, in fact, they divided themselves into three, and they started trying to investigate who the person was. I mean, they took this particular one so serious. And Rude Boy, this time around, took it upon himself to lead the deliberation session. And you could see how they were moving from group to group, telling each other to nominate Imisi. And it made me wonder, why exactly? Like, these housemates actually setting themselves up in the wrongest way. Because now they're all saying, okay, maybe not all of them entirely, but most of them are saying that Imisi is weird. She acts weird, she dresses weird, she's different from all of them. So the only explanation is that she is the one that is perpetrating all of those actions in the house. So they kept on pointing at Imisi and they voted out Imisi. Like they said, she's the one. But unfortunately for them, Imisi already unmaxed. Now, there was also another confusion. Somebody's note that was read, yeah? And this one also carried another mysterious message. Somebody's note that was read, another person stood up and unmaxed. So guys, is it that? Oh God. See here, for me, the way I interpreted that particular situation was that people that was probably trying to stir the pot, in fact, he was stirring the pot, was trying to get the housemate to get into a confrontation session last night, you know, just so that, you know, things will be spiced up once again in the house. And guys, me, I was ready. I say, if we're not going to sleep again tonight, who am I to go and sleep? So I am ready to stay awake again, you know. But then at the end of the day, all that we got was a lot of conversations. As I said, people passing the blame to the head of house, people blaming this, people blaming that. Otega was busy talking about, oh, my idea was watered down. I knew what a masquerade ball was. I told you people, People were just passing the blame. Nobody was taking accountability for the fact that they all of them collectively destroyed the life of that wager. All of them. Now, one person really impressed me, and that was Tracy. Yeah, Tracy really stood firm on what she believed in. Tracy really stood firm. She kept on defending the head of house, because she was saying that all of you are defending the head of house, that the head of house can be easily swayed. What would you have done if you were in his shoes? And people that were talking, she kept on asking them one after the other, what would you have done different? Now, Denari was one of those people that was strongly, you know, accusing the head of house of being one of the reasons they failed. So when she asked him, okay, what would you have done different? His answers were kind of shallow. His answers were not necessarily given any strong suggestions of what he could have done better. And I love the fact that Tracy told them all that, don't worry, people will win head of house. We will see if you can do better. Anyways, in the midst of all of that, plenty conversations, there was Rude Boy who now felt bad that he had allowed himself to be used as a pawn to try to victimize, or let's say demonize or villainize one person, and that person is Imisi. So he was telling SABRINA that he lost his guard, that he shouldn't have allowed himself to be used, you know, because he was so eager. He completely forgot the reason why he was in the game. He completely forgot the fact that his fellow housemates could actually use him to do whatever they wanted, because they know that he's one person that is very vocal and is not afraid to speak his mind, you know. So he felt really bad, and that was one of the reasons why he had gone ahead to apologize to Imisi. And guys, me, I was just laughing. I said, dude, you will still do it again, because that is who you are and that is how you play your game. You like to play your game dirty, and you're going to do it again. Now, finally, Otega apologized to Denari for their fight. Gigi Jasmine had played mediator between both of them, and they had talked out their differences and they had resolved everything. And then finally, SABRINA. Ladies and gentlemen, I had mentioned before that SABRINA kept on going from pillar to post, you know, pushing the blame away from herself and then passing on the blame to the head of house, right? And then she now came from this elitist, classist, like disgusting classist angle, talking about it is not their fault. I mean, there's this new way she talks. It is not their fault. She's always waiting for somebody to complete her word. It is not their fault. You know, Big Brother gave a brief to people that don't understand a ball. In fact, what she was trying to say in essence was that, in fact, what she said, actually, not what she was trying to say, what she said was that the brief, Big Brother gave it to people who do not understand what a ball means, that a masquerade ball is not necessarily a Nigerian thing, you know, and so they did not really understand. The people that understood were the three of them that actually live in the abroad, America, Canada, UK, that they are the ones that possibly understood. Like, she was making it feel like the rest of the housemates were very, very local and unexposed. And so they three that come from the abroad, that they are the ones that are very much exposed and they know better. And, you know, they could have helped the whole house to explain to them to understand. But then because everybody was talking at the same time and the head of house too listens to speak and not to understand, it also, like, guys, it was so annoying to listen to Sabrina talk. I mean, I'm used to hearing Sabrina brag all day, every day about her class, all of her achievements in life, all the good, great things that has happened to her, all of her privileges. I've heard her speak about all of these things all the time. And for me, girl, go ahead and brag. I mean, brag your brag. Nobody brag past you. Take the crown, brag your brag. But for the fact that she now talked about that situation in that manner, it was so classist. It was so, guys, it was so disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. And I wasn't the only one that felt that way. Going on the internet, a lot of people felt so offended because people were like, what is wrong with this girl? It's like you're trying so hard every single day to prove to the whole world, to all the viewers, all the housemates, that you are more international than anybody else. You are more exposed than anybody else. You are this and you are that. And I mean, it's okay because at the end of the day, it's a game. Do the most, do whatever you want, but sometimes read the room. But guys, I would love to hear your thoughts. So just go ahead and let me know, all right, what you think about the Housemates wager. If you watched it, let me know what you think about how they interpreted it, Big Brother's verdict, the housemates passing the blame to the head of house, and also Sabrina's very, very insensitive comments. All right, so just go ahead and share, and I'll see you all on my next video. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye.